I'm not putting Drew on film, but I'm trying to get Drew to eat his herb thing. Why won't you eat it? Drink it. It's good for you. So what, I mean, seriously, he's got I should just do a super zoom up on his mouth right now. Can I do a super zoom on your mouth? We'll do a super zoom on his mouth. So this is basically kind of like the patch. You know, you've seen the people put the duct tape over their lips. This is Drew's, adaptation of it. And he's just saying, listen, I'm not gonna enter in this conversation and fuck off. Is that right? But knowing me, I'm just gonna persist and not give up. Just have a little drink. Have a little drink. All right. So Drew's response is another, what is that in your mouth? That's grapefruit, isn't it? He's got grapefruit. So he's being like a stubborn son. I'm just gonna follow you around with this video all morning until you have a sip of it. How's that? What do you think of that? What are you gonna do? What's gonna be your counter to that? Even Pedro had some this morning. Let's listen to him. He's now like a super kid. Listen to him whacking away.
Pedro is a braver man than I am.
Just try a little bit. There's no bugs in it today. Today there's no bugs, there's no grubs. There is absolutely nothing. Hold on. So he is actually now contemplating it. It's actually really good.
No, I just had a grapefruit, so this isn't gonna taste good.
It's gonna taste awesome.
Not after my grapefruit.
No.
There's probably grapefruit in here.
There is lime and no, there's lime in there. There's lime with skin and everything. There's orange skin. So what is it like after grapefruit?
I don't know what's in there, man.
I know you're not gonna know but I'm just saying, what is it like?
There's
Customer
yogurt.
Feedback.
Yogurt?
There is yogurt in there.
You said there were no animal products.
I didn't know. I said there's no meat in there. Yogurt is not a meat. It's a fermented milk. So what do you think? Is it after grapefruit? I mean, that's a magic bullet after grapefruit is what honestly, sucks, terrible. You taste the ginger?
I don't know. I don't know what I can taste. It's just a weird, undefinable flavor.
Well, you can taste the vegetables, right? I mean, the fruits. Any fruits?
It's a little sweet, a little tangy.
That's from the 20 types of berries and the bananas and the stuff is in there. Look, he's drinking it. See, that's a good sign. Now, if you didn't like it, you'd be putting it down, right?
I never waste food.
Well, you're like me on that one there. So we'll come back in 5 minutes and he's gonna be bouncing around on the couch with all the energy. So I wanna show you this food hack. Basically, these are little turnips here, right? And this is the leftovers. So I'm gonna use all of this. So ultimately, this right here, or the tops, this is gonna go into the garden. Now the rhizome is basically what the radish is known as a rhizome, and it's basically a food bag. It's kind of like fat reserves for a plant for the winter. And it gets them through the winter, and then they grow up into, it protects them and they shoot up. So I've left a little bit of the rhizome, and you can see here, I've left the smallest leaf. I've cut all the other leaves off. And what's gonna happen is I stick these in the ground out there. They're actually gonna regrow into radishes. And they won't grow into radishes per se. What they're gonna do is flower, and we can always cut the greens off like this and have these growing that we can use in our mix. It's really good and healthy. And I'm gonna let it flower, beautiful little yellow flowers, radishes. I think they're yellow, they could be white. And the bees love it, so it's bee food. And they will basically seed themselves, and then from the seeds, I will start growing tons of radishes. So basically, I'm hacking this food, and right now I am basically, a slave to the grocery store, but I'm taking their products, their stuff, hacking the food, and I'm growing it myself. And it's simple science. Eventually, what's going to happen is I'm going to be growing more radishes, and I can eat, and I'll start providing the seeds and the stuff to the entire community. My name is Michael Trout, and I'm a food hacker here at Foundup's House in Silicon Valley. Now, you can come to Foundup's House and I can teach you these things. You can watch these videos and learn. You can share your own food hacks on how to grow. what is Found Up's House? Found Up House is basically a way to launch Found Ups. We are a hacker house for Found Ups and also startups. We are a permaculture homestead for growing our own food and our fish, and we're gonna have our own eggs and everything else. We're also a fab lab, a fabrications lab for producing the things that we need in our communities. Everything at a Found Up House is open source. So we're going to put on solar panels that are open source. When the neighbor goes, hey, I like your solar panels, how are they running? Our systems for monitoring them and everything, our systems for tracking our fridge and our stove, utility, everything's going to be open source through open source sensors and everything else that we're developing. And all of these things is kind of like, think of it as is Linux, right? And we are the red hat. Found Ups Corp is the red hat, and think of Found Up's House is our little community hubs. Anyone can launch a Found Up's House. All we ask is that you get certified, and right now, becoming certified means coming to the house, but we're going to be developing all this online content and the testings and the training and everything else that's going to be completely free for anyone to learn and to launch. How do you launch a Found Up's House? It's really simple. You go to foundups.com, you join as a member for as little as $1 a month. That's your franchise fee, your access to our IP, as little as $1 a month. Now, obviously, I've got some folks who pay over $100. If you're in a position that you can pay more, pay what you feel you can. So if you need an equation, take your net income, not your gross, your net income after taxes, multiply it by 0.001%, and whatever is that number, round up to the nearest dollar. So if it's under $1, round up to $1. If it's $10, round up, do $9, round up to $10 and do $9, whatever. If it's $1,000, do $1,000. If it's $100, do $100. It's a simple equation on your membership. Basically, we are not funded by any VCs. We're not funded by any investors. By becoming a member, you're actually becoming a partner, and you have license to use our brand. You have license to launch your own Found Up House. Again, if you're going to launch a Found Up House, we really want you to go through the training and everything else, but technically, you don't have to, right? As long as you're a member. The requirement is membership. The other thing is that as a community, we are investing 80% of our net profits back into the system and launching more Found Ups. So imagine each Found Up House is kind of like an open incubator for launching Found Ups. The income that we generate, 80% of the net profits, the cost after running the house, the net profits, is churned back into the systems. What this means is it eliminates the need for us to go to accredited investors and everything else. I imagine we're going to have 1 million members of Found Ups, 1 million members. If they all paid $1 a month, that's $1 million a month. Take 80% of that, that's $800,000 a month that we're going to roll back into the system, roll back into making our system amazing. Some other caveats is no one can own more than 10,000 shares of Found Ups Corp. It's a C corporation, not even me as a founder. And once we do our IPO, any capital gains that you get from selling your shares buying your shares at a penny and selling them for $500, 80% of those capital gains, again, must be used into launching more Found Ups. We're a selfless organization. The first for-profit, selfless organization out there. We're not nonprofit. We are profit-driven, but we take the profits and we use the profits to launch more Found Ups. And in the future, we will have a nonprofit called foundups.org. Right now, it points to our LinkedIn. So the foundation, everything is coming. This is brand new. We are empowering the collaborative economy. Found Ups is the business model, a new business model for empowering the collaborative economy. What we're doing ultimately is removing the Uber from Uber Corporation. We're removing the Google from Google Corporation, which are all run by a few selfish investors who are taking, for example, if you ride Uber, 20% of the cab is going to these rich people, right? The founder of Uber now is a billionaire. In Found Ups Corp, we won't have billionaires. We're going to have lots of millionaires potentially, but not billionaires. Billionaire to me is an obese person. We don't need billionaires. We need to help saving this planet, and we need to be taking these billions and putting into activities that help save our planet. And a Found Up differs from a startup very simple. we focus on solutions first. We don't care about the monetary side of things. If there's a problem, like, hey, we need to grow food, I'm growing food. Am I trying to turn this garden into a business model? No. First step, I want to grow the food for the house. I want to grow fish for the house. As it grows up, I may be providing fish to the neighborhood. I may be providing fish to the area, to restaurants and everything else. This very well could become a potential business model, but it's not my focus. My focus right now is getting the system set up. I'm not paying for seeds. I'm taking basically grocery store products and replanting them and regrowing them. I'm hacking food. So join me on foundups.com. Consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month and help us save our planet together with Found Ups.